Tanner's doing some research on bands. Oh, isn't that weird? Tanner's deep in Reddit at this point.
Do you know the names of the dogs?
Basil and Budgie.
Basil.
Yeah.
No.
It's like Basil's got like a metronome that has to follow. I love that you made one of these dogs. That's hilarious. I think most of the time Tanner doesn't remember parrots are a thing. Hello and welcome to I Should Have Known, the trivia game show that can't be trusted. Each week, one of our quizmasters will present you with 4 facts about a topic, but one of those facts is a lie. And we are finishing up our musical theme. We have our resident musical experts. Our quizmaster this week is Tanner.
Hello.
And Tanner is doing a Find the Fake episode on weird bands. So he's going to present us with 4 bands that all have some kind of gimmick or shtick that's kind of bizarre or weird. But one of these bands he has invented. And he will play music from all 4 bands, but for the fake band, it's going to be someone else's music. He's lying about that. So join me, Andy, and our other host, Sups, in trying to figure out which one of his bands is fake.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm curious about your definition of
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it doesn't take much to weird Tanner out. He is our vanilla soft serve.
And given your vast, expansive knowledge of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been listening to our other musical episodes. Yeah, Tanner is real music lover.
Just a virtuoso.
An audiophile.
Right. But all of these are from like the last 20 years.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we're
so they're
talking
newer.
very recent.
All right.
Oh, okay. Wow. 21st century weird bands.
Yeah.
Okay.
But our PQQ,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
what English band from 1998 has 4 virtual members named 2D, Murdoch, Noodle, and Russell? I can play their song.
Yeah, sure. Oh,
Okay. Yes.
so the band is Gorillas.
Yes. So their weird thing is that they're all virtual. They're digital people. So it's actually 2 guys from England, and they made these 4 personas, and that's the band.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's their
so
weird
that's
thing.
kind of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Like bands that have something kind of weird.
But we're going to get even weirder than that today.
Okay.
So, band number 1, Hate Beak.
Hate Beak, like a bird.
That's exactly right. From 2003 until the present day, American death metal band made of 2 men and Waldo, a gray parrot.
Yes.
I mean, wow.
So they have 1 album, and then they've done like split records where they have songs on a record with another band.
Okay. So we'll listen to their music, right?
Here's their
Okay.
song. Yep. The song is called The Thing That Should Not Beak.
I'm already scared for my ears.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the music was pretty standard. But yeah, so I wanted to hear the parrot.
Yeah.
I'm here for Waldo. Where's Waldo?
They only do studio music or garage music. They don't go on tour.
Okay,
I
they don't
see.
do
Because
live performances.
Waldo would not do well on tour.
How did you find this band?
MTV has an article about
Are
it.
you sure that he found it in here, Zeus? in
that's why I was
in his
asking.
big old brain.
and then
Well,
and
skull. His big
and
old skull.
That's not very convincing.
Wow. Waldo would definitely be an issue in live performances, but also very convenient for Tanner and his fake. Is that like, well, you've never seen them, you can't go see them because the one member's a parrot.
Yeah.
I will say, I do kind of find this a little believable because I don't think Tanner would come up with parrot.
Right.
You know, like I get that, like, okay, you're a death metal band. You want like a raven, but like you can't have ravens as pets.
Yeah.
So what's like the closest thing
Yeah.
is parrot. Better than a cockatoo, I guess.
And the parrot can be trained to make sounds on cue.
Right.
Like, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound super outlandish to me.
Right?
Yeah. And when I also heard their music, if there is a parrot involved and they're death metal, that felt like a very like starter level death metal kind of.
Right? Yeah, I did. I thought the music itself, I mean, we only heard a tiny bit, but
Yeah.
it was a very like par for the course death metal. I kind of think they really missed the opportunity to do like shandy style,
Oh, yeah.
like do
Yeah.
nautical timed death metal with your death parrot.
Mm-hmm.
And you can call yourself like the notorious plunder parrots or something like that. You
like
know?
embrace the
Yeah.
pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I get that they wanted a bird.
Yeah. From the description, from the music, everything seems to. We definitely heard a squeal or
Yeah,
like
there's
there's some.
It didn't sound much like a squawk.
Yeah,
It sounded
squawk,
like
yeah.
it could have been a cat.
Could that be?
And you think Tanner decided it was a parrot? See, that's the
not
hardest
his
thing.
Bird of choice.
That's the hardest thing for me to believe is
Okay.
that Tanner
Okay.
came up with parrot.
Mm.
I think most of the time Tanner doesn't remember parrots are a thing.
What
Yeah.
I can say with confidence is that I've never heard of it, this band. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Band number 2, Caninus.
It's a bunch of dogs.
There's a bunch of dogs.
There are 2 dogs in the band.
Okay.
Is that going to be the whole thing? Is
No,
that
no,
they
no.
all have animals in the...
Just the first 2.
Okay.
So this is an American death grind band,
Uh-huh.
which is heavy metal plus hardcore punk. From 2003 until 2011. So they're not around anymore because one of the pit bull terriers passed away. So it's 3 humans and 2 pit bull terriers.
Do they growl and bark
They
and
do.
stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get another pit bull terrier to replace
No.
the dead one?
No. It was a founding member and
Yeah.
they wanted to go out with it. So they're all vegans.
Yeah, that's what I was. Okay.
They're very into animal rights, vegetarianism. These dogs were adopted refuge dogs.
Mhm.
So they have a purpose and a message.
Right.
It's
Okay.
not just a joke.
Yeah.
And here's their song, Human Rawhide.
Wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
That actually was genuinely pretty cool.
Yeah. And the dogs were barking on cue, like with the beats, and like that was.
Yeah, right. Is that
Yeah.
live or did they just like sample it and then
Yeah.
include it?
I
'Cause-
think they recorded the barks,
Barks.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
they-
engineered it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I don't think in the studio. Hey, do you know the names of the dogs?
Basil and Budgie.
Basil. Stop. No,
yeah,
no, no.
yeah. It's like Basil's got like a metronome
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
that has
yeah.
to follow. Wow. That one was better than the first one in the sense of incorporating the animals that we could clearly hear.
Right.
That was a dog.
Yeah.
There were dogs barking.
Yeah.
That first one was like a yowl. I don't know what that was. It wasn't as integrated.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that music if it's not this band?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because he's faking one. He's going to play us some fake music.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's some song with a dog.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there is a dog. There was definitely some growls. I think this band. Yeah. Also, never heard of it.
I feel like this one would be too hard to fake. Like that, I would just genuinely be so impressed that he took. I mean, I can see how you would fake it, where you just take a sample of a dog and put it
Yeah.
on top of a sample of a song. Do we really think Tanner is that involved?
Yeah, I think between 1 and 2, so far, I'm inclined to believe both of them are
Yeah.
real ones.
Okay. Let's move on to band number 3.
Okay.
So we're done with the non-human animals. So band number 3 is called Okilly Dokilly.
Okay.
From 2015 until 2022. It is an American heavy metal band.
Are they all metal, Tan?
No, just 3 of them. Because they're
Okay.
the weirdest.
I mean, we
They're
have
the
4
weirdest.
options.
I guess like that does make sense because like that's the thing in that genre is like it's subversion. And so like it would make sense that you would have like humorous acts.
They call themselves a Neddle band because they're based on Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. So he's the neighbor of The Simpsons, and he wears gray jeans, a green sweater, glasses, a pink colored shirt, and a big mustache. And he's super nice and friendly.
They all have mustaches.
They all have mustaches and the same round glasses. And Okilly Dokilly is something that he says. And so that's why it's the band name.
Okay.
So here's their song, White Wine Spritzer.
Okay. I'm going to venture these are a bunch of white dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look a lot like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music checks out from his description. Like
Mhm.
the music sounded metal to me. So, and it's interesting because you can't distinguish between two metal songs. They all sound the same.
Well,
So
I
if-
was actually going to say how it started out not very metal, I think.
Right.
It was more alternative. I don't think Tanner made this up
Why?
because he's not that kind of white guy. I actually don't really like The Simpsons. I've barely watched any episodes. I am aware of who this
Right.
Ned Flanders is. I know Tanner has watched more than I have.
Okay.
And I feel like there's just like this kind of group of guys who are like, their personality is The Simpsons. And so this feels like a very much that kind of thing. Oh, let's do this funny thing and be weird and funny and laugh at ourselves. And
Yeah.
but then also play music that we like. It's like mixing these two things. To me, like the kind of people who like this kind of music and the kind of guys who are obsessed with The Simpsons, if you put those in two circles, they would make another circle. They would overlap each other. So yeah, this seems about right.
But maybe that's the point. That's what he's playing on. That, okay, there exists real people, but this whole nettle is like a total BS. It doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. Do you think Tanner came up with that pun?
Okay, so no parrot, no pit bull terriers, no Ned Flanders. Okay, so which means the fourth one, we don't even have to listen. And that's the big one.
I mean, maybe he could have come up with this,
Yeah.
but this would be like, this is the side of Tanner that I don't
Okay.
communicate with. I could maybe see him thinking about when he was like a teenager
Right.
and obsessed with The Simpsons,
Mhm.
like every teenage boy. I do need to hear one more.
Okay.
Then I think I will know.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope. I really hope so.
I
am
think
like,
so too. I think
Tanner
so.
is really taking a beating in this episode. I'm like,
Yeah, I feel like it's more like a personal commentary on Tanner.
It really is.
And your life choices.
well, it's also just so funny because he's so bad at music.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Number
right.
4. Surprise us.
Yeah.
All right. Band number 4 called Mask Back from 2009 until the present. It's an American punk band that exclusively makes songs in reverse. So the songs are written and recorded forwards, but then they're produced on the record backwards.
So that's not making songs backwards. That's making a song forwards and then just putting it out backwards.
Yes, but every one of their songs is in reverse, and that's their shtick. Here's their song, Hypnosis. All right.
Okay, so they plan on it being in reverse when they make it because they practiced saying words backwards so that they would sound like things.
So it's only the words that are in backwards, right? The track is still forwards.
They play all the music and sing the songs
Yeah.
forwards, and then on
Okay.
the record, it's reversed.
Yeah.
So the music was
Okay.
played backwards.
Why?
I didn't ask that for all 4 of these.
Why not, I guess?
I mean, come on. Like, okay, just because you have to do something different and like stand out.
So they say that they were inspired by backmasking, which is where people perceive messages hidden in songs when they're played backwards.
Oh, like
So they
is
named
that
it
Stairway to
Mask Back.
Heaven.
You hear the devil and
Oh,
stuff.
the devil.
Wow.
So I was thinking as I was listening, I was like, okay, yeah, I figured Tanner out. I was like, this is how he fakes the song. Instead of being like, this song is this other band and it's not. He's just like, I'm going to play a famous song and just reverse it.
Reverse it.
But then the guy starts saying hypnosis.
Mm.
And then I'm like, well, how'd he do that? And then I get like, now
Maybe
I'm
he
like,
produced
oh
the song.
no,
Yeah.
how did you manage that?
Uh-huh.
I guess Tanner's doing some research on bands and comes upon people talking about this backmasking and is like, oh, here's this one song. Like, guys, this is so weird. In this one song, it sounds like he's saying hypnosis.
Mm.
Oh, isn't that weird? Tanner's deep in Reddit at this point. And so maybe he's like, yeah. And then I'll make a band based on this. I'll play the song backwards and I'll say it's this band that does all their music backwards.
Wow.
That's what I think happened.
I think this is real because the music definitely, yes, was a reverse track. You could see the jumps. But also, this one stood out to me primarily because of like trying to be different. Like the other ones, they have a pattern, right? Animals doing something like that's like a very standard thing, but this one is like out there.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying about like this could be something that a band could come up with.
Yeah.
It does sound like you're saying hypnosis. You could learn to say words backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like the music doesn't sound that weird
Yeah.
in reverse. But when I'm thinking about what did Tanner fake? So Tanner has to play us a fake recording of his fake band. And so to me, it's like simply playing someone else's song backwards and saying this is a different band.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a genius plan for making a
makes
fake.
sense. I definitely agree to that part. You know, it sounded like straightforward, which is that's like an area of doubt then. What do you think? Are we talking about the right thing?
Trying to keep a poker face as much as possible.
Could you repeat the 4 bands for us before we guess which one you faked and made up?
Okay. Band number 1, Beak. Band number 2, Caninus. Band number 3, Okilly Dokilly. And band number 4, Mask Back. One of those I made up.
Uh-huh.
I love that you did that. just gonna start that. I love that you made one of these up. That's hilarious. What are you thinking?
I think it's the parrot one.
The parrot?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm also second most skeptical about the parrot.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think from the track perspective, right? And if I can draw any connection. Of all the descriptions that we've had, this is the one where like the audio doesn't match his description. I don't think not that I have a lot of experience with parrot squeaks, but of the little that I do, I think this is like the farthest I would say where the audio and the descriptions were. Like the other 3 bands, like the audio and the description, they match. Like,
yeah,
you know?
I mean, I'm not deep enough into The Simpsons to get the white wine
Mm-hmm.
spritzer reference, but I'm guessing that's Ned's favorite drink or something. Right. And that was clearly in the song.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Caninus, if you think about it, we heard the dogs. Okay, maybe it might be that, okay, it's not a pit bull terrier. Maybe it's some other breed. Or so Caninus, I think we can park it. I think it's...
Yeah, we'll bark it. I think because also like the engineering work.
Right.
If that's fake, that was impressive. That was
Very
a lot
good.
more work than you needed to do, T.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's number 4.
Number 4.
I think
that would be my second
he took a
choice.
song and just reversed it, and that's how he faked it.
Right. If I were Tanner, I would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my second choice. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pick number 1. Beak.
Also, that's a great name.
Yeah.
Beak. Yeah, I think it's number 4. I think it's a famous song played backwards. And they were like, hey, Green Day's Basket Case sounds like he's saying hypnosis.
Yeah,
And that's how he came up with it.
Okay.
But I don't know.
All right. The fake one is Mask Back.
Yeah, of course.
Andy is 100% dead on. That's exactly how I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And you even got the song right.
Yeah, I thought it might have been Basket Case. And at the end, he says, hold on. And I guess if you did that backwards, it might sound like hypnosis.
Yeah. It was 100% right. Yeah, I don't know how you did that. And that was the exact thought process I had.
Yeah.
I was like, how am I going to make this up? Well, like backmasking is a thing I read about in like the 80s and like music censorship.
Like Led Zeppelin was a big one.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And Twisted Sister, like a lot of people purposely put messages in their songs backwards to play off of this.
Because people had
false
already talked
idea.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what they would do is like play the song and record the tape backwards, and then you would have a backwards song. And so I picked a Green Day song, and then I listened to it, and I was like, sounds like he's saying hypnosis. That's the name of the song.
Wow. Oh, see, that's
Nice.
impressive. I thought
Yeah.
that maybe you had read on the internet that you're like, hey guys, if you play Basket Case backwards, it sounds like he's saying hypnosis. Because it really
Really
does
does. Yeah,
sound
it
like
really
he's
doesn't
saying
say-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me was like the biggest like scare where it was like, this has to be real. He's saying the name of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, amazing. Well
Yeah.
done. I mean, like, well, your wife figured you out straight away.
Up and
so-
down, 100%.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
I had no chance.
Yes.
I
was
was
all over
all
me.
over that. Yeah, I know you too well.
Yeah.
Suze is over here third wheeling real hard today.
I know. Well, I'm following your lead. Yeah.
Well, Tanner's follows yours.
Yeah,
I'll follow you, follow me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I should have known.
Yeah.
I should have known.
I should have known. Thanks for listening to this episode of I Should Have Known. If you are listening on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, and comment if you figured Tanner out too, or if you also were surprised, or if you know of any other kind of weird bands. And if you're on a traditional podcast platform, please review the show. And if you'd like to support the show, we have a Patreon, which is a subscription-based service where you can give a monthly donation and support the show, because it's a lot of work to make it. Think about how much work Tanner had to do to make up this band. And you also get some bonus content as well. And this is the end of our music theme for the month. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We are going to be doing Stranger Than Fiction for the month of October. Kind of Halloween-y, creepy. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, thanks for listening! They're not Polish rappers.